Hey there, Andy Whitehead here from Recruitment Marketing International. Now, as an executive search owner, director, leader, I know you've got two main problems. It's very simple what we're looking to achieve here, right? One is we need the job orders. And number two, we need the candidates to fill those job orders, and we get this sweet spot in the middle. Now, the reality is, often, if you're a solopreneur or you're a business owner doing under 7 figures, you'll be focusing on job orders. You'll get the job orders in, then you'll be focusing on candidates. The impact of this is we have this up and down, feast and famine go on. So we have a good month, bad month, we're in client getting mode, we're in candidate getting mode. Now, there's a solution to this. Now, we've got a program called the Executive Search Build and Mentoring Program. This is the workflow. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that you have a very clear website, very clear LinkedIn profile that's focused on your niche. So your niche leader, exactly who is your client, exactly who is your candidate. So not generalist, but specifically, this is my niche, this is my client, this is my candidate. And we create a website and we create a LinkedIn profile to do that. So we create the banner for your LinkedIn website, we create the text for your LinkedIn page, we create the images for your website, the text for your website, everything. Next step is we really dig deep on niche analysis. So exactly who is the client candidate, but what are the exact numbers behind it? So for example, let's say that there are 1,000 organizations in your niche, and in each organization there are 3 decision makers. That means there are roughly 3,000 potential prospects, right? Let's say, for example, you deal with 15 types of candidate. For each type of candidate, you have on average, let's just make it nice and simple. Let's say you have 100 candidates for each of those roles. So in the entire market, there are 100 candidates for each role. So there are 1,500 candidates, right? So what we want is we want to be able to know exactly what is our niche, who's a client, and who's the matching candidates. When a role comes in, we know that role needs this candidate. Not a role comes in and then we've got to drop candidate generation, client generation. We're looking all over the place. We've got the right candidate for the right role. Next step is we do the following. We build that client data set. So in this case, let's say it's 3,000 clients, but it might be there's 15,000 clients. That data set we're going to build, what that means is we've got full contact details, first name, last name, email address, phone, LinkedIn profile, size of company, all the bits around that. We've got the full client data set. Same for the candidate. So let's say, for example, when we map your market, there are 20,000 candidates. So do exactly the same for the candidate side. So that means we can run a campaign. For example, we can focus on 2,000 CFOs in Texas in the automotive industry, or the USA in the automotive industry, or it could be focusing on fintech in Europe of a certain size company. We run a campaign to those clients. When we get the positive responses, we then got the candidates for those exact clients. So we build the client data set and the candidate data set. So we get focus on your niche and the two match. Then we move into VA management. So who actually runs this? Well, we're going to run this for you. We're going to set this up and run this for you. And action 6 is we actually get the automated client campaigns running, which means what we do is we're actually going to create 25 inboxes for you, 25 inboxes, and we're going to set the whole automation up for you and run it for you across 8 weeks. So that means we get 100% delivery. So if you send that campaign to 1,000 clients, that means 1,000 clients get that inside their inbox, not in the other, not in spam. We know that they've got that inside their inbox. And the way your campaign scale comes down to the 3 M's. We've got the market, we've got the mechanism, and we've got the message. So the market is going to be the niche and exactly who the clients are. So we know who they are, so we've got the market ticked off. Next, the mechanism is the automation we're going to set up. And the messaging is the templates we're going to send. So we've got these done. Of course, we need to tweak the templates to suit your client, suit your avatar, and the same for your candidates. But there's only 3 parts to it: the message, the market, and mechanism. Next thing is we run automated campaigns for the candidate side. So you bring in job roles and job orders in this niche. And for example, a CFO might be looking for a senior accounting manager, or it could be a program manager looking for a fintech project manager. Whatever your niche is. So you run the client campaigns, we get responses, then run the matching candidate campaigns, get responses. Of course, when the clients come in, we then convert the clients. So you complete conversion of the client. So the way we do that is with what we call a CAS, a client attainment system. So when you speak to a client, each time you speak to a client right now, you may have objections. You may find the client goes missing. So with the client attainment system, we overcome the objections the client has got of using you against either internal recruitment, using other search businesses, or using their preferred suppliers list. The client attainment system overcomes those objections before you even speak to the client. It positions you here and your competition here. Massive gap. So you're the natural choice. And then of course, the candidate delivery. So we have the job orders, we have the roles, then we deliver the candidates. So we get the candidates in our inbox from our automated campaigns, and then we get the candidates across the line so you actually get paid. So whether you're working in a retained model, third, or in a contingent model, both of these elements give you speed because the process is extremely quick. So if we run a campaign, say on Monday at midday, you can have responses within a couple of hours. It also gives you quality. Why? Because we know exactly who the candidates are. So we know, for example, for one of your roles, there may be a total of 297 candidates for that role, and you have 260 of them now inside your data set. So when we run a campaign against that 260, we get an open rate of 60, 70, 80%, a reply rate of 10, 20%. You can then model to the client. We've got a coverage of 97% of all candidates for this role in the market. We've got a mechanism that allows us to get a 80, 90% open rate, allows us to get a 10, 20% response rate. So when you send across 3, 4, 5 candidates, remember just one if you're dealing with board level C-suite, you're actually sending off the best candidate, but it gives you an in here. So whether you're in an extremely focused niche where there's only 32 candidates or 45 clients, or you're in a bigger niche whereby there are 500,000 clients, for example, middle market in America, if you're dealing with middle market in America. So this is what we actually deliver. So just to recap, what that looks like. Number one, your LinkedIn profile is probably letting you down now. When you reach out to a client now, or you reach out to a candidate now, one of two things will happen. They will either check your website or they will check your LinkedIn profile, sometimes both. And with your LinkedIn profile and your website, they'll scan through it in 3 to 7 seconds, usually on their mobile. Then they decide whether you're the right person for them, so whether you're the right person for their industry, their location, and the role. 95%, 96% of the time, LinkedIn profiles are just letting you down right at the start. You don't even know this, because you've never been given that feedback by a client or by a candidate. Same with your website. So we're going to create your LinkedIn banners, we're going to create the LinkedIn text for your profile, we're going to create the images for your website, create a text for your website. So now we've got an authority website and we've got an authority LinkedIn profile that's focused purely on your niche. Number two, analysis of the clients and candidates in your niche. So we know exactly how many clients there are, how many candidates there are, and we know with exact certainty that the total market is 9,067. Candidate market is 14,023. So if you need candidates in the future, rather than being hit in job boards or your little black book or sporadic LinkedIn messages, you've actually got them already inside your database. We upload them, you segment them, click send, templates done. Action 3, we build the client data set to say all contact details. So if you need job orders, you run a campaign against your clients. Action 4, we build the candidate data set. So if a role comes in for one of your sub niches, so let's say for example fintech South Africa, and you've got a role comes in for a city in South Africa for a certain size of fintech, you've got the candidate data set that matches it. VA management, we're going to do this for you. We're going to run this for you, and we're going to hand it over after 8 weeks, and the steps laid out, so a VA can own it, but it'll actually take 10 to 15 minutes per day. But the whole steps will be laid out. Action 6, we're going to get this up and running for you. We're actually going to run it for you. So it's going to be hands off. I know in search, trying to get these things set up is like trying to change a car going at 1,000 miles an hour and trying to change a wheel, right? So we're going to do this for you. So the automated client campaigns, the candidate campaigns. So to give you an insight, what usually will happen, you'll find is, and very few people are actually aware of this till we do this, most of your business, most of your leads will come in from the 3rd to 7th message. So when you run a campaign, most of your business will come in from the automated follow-up from message 3, 4, 5. And that's set up across a number of weeks. Same with the candidate side. Usually it's messages 2 to 3 is when most of your candidates will respond. Action 8, complete conversion of the client. So we do that with the CAS. So when you speak to a client, the objections are overcome before you speak to the client. And action 9, candidate delivery. So we've got the candidates in our inbox, and how do we convert that candidate? It's called the MSR, most sellable role. As part of this process, we have a launch call with myself. We've got one-to-one calls, we've got group calls, we've got access to over 250 strategies. But the problem you've got, I've seen it many, many times. So we've now got a solution. If you go to our case studies page on our website, Recruitment Marketing International, you'll see countless pages of case studies. Just to give you a few insights here. We've got Laura, who's gone from 15 to 50K up and down months per quarter to having a 500K quarter. We've got Darren who 10x growth in 2 years. We've got Brant, who broke 7 figures for the first time. So 4x his business. We've got Ken, 30K to 100K per month. We've got Jonathan, gone from 80K per year to over $1 million per year in just 18 months. So what we do works, but actually what I understand since the onset of COVID, things change often in search. There's less time to actually execute, so we're going to do the execution for you. Now, if you're serious and you're savvy, click the link below, schedule a call in. All I request for you from that call is that you turn up, but also you understand that your big win is from getting niche. And say you'll be working directly with me, going through this process. We'll be setting this up all for you. So with that said, click the link below, schedule a call. I'll speak to you soon. Andy Whitehead, recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. Speak soon.